Hey everybody, it's Matt Gary, back here again with GarysGuides.com, and today I'm going to show you exactly how the fatigue meter works in Harvest Moon 64. So the first thing you should know about the fatigue meter is that all it does is determine whether Jack is going to be sick the following day. It doesn't determine whether you can continue working during the day. That's actually determined by the stamina meter, which I have a different video for, and I'll pop up a link to now, and you can go check it out. It's important to know what the stamina meter is, but it operates completely different and totally separate from the fatigue meter. And in this video, we're going to talk about the fatigue meter. So let's get back to it. So over here in Cheat Engine, I've got pulled up our fatigue. Right now, it's at a value of 0. Whenever you first start your game, like a fresh save file, it will start at a value of 0, and it will increase up to a value of 100. Whenever you get to the value 100 on your fatigue meter, you will be sick the following day. So, how does fatigue work? How do you add to your fatigue meter, and how do you decrease your fatigue? Well, fatigue is probably one of the most complicated hidden metrics in the game, but luckily on Game FAQs, the user, some crazy guy, figured it out about 6 years ago now, at least 6 years ago now, and you know, we've all benefited from it. So I'll explain to you exactly how it works. So right now in the game, it's 6 a.m. I just woke up, and if I use a tool, you'll see my fatigue meter has increased by 0, which is fine. Anytime that you work during the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. on a sunny day, then your fatigue will not be increased. However, if you work after the hours of 6 p.m. or you work during a rainy or snowy day, your fatigue will increase. So we'll see that. Down here I've got the Game Shark pulled up for Project 64, and what I'm going to do is change the hour to 7 p.m. And now we can look, we see that it is indeed 7 p.m. And if we use our tool again, we can see that the fatigue went from 0 to 1. So anytime you work, you know, in those, after the 6 o'clock hour, or when it's raining or snowing, you're going to see that increase. Now you might be thinking, okay, how does it decrease? Well, whenever you go to sleep, your fatigue will decrease each hour you have slept by 2. So if you slept for 6 hours, your fatigue would decrease by 12 when you woke up. If you have won from the flower shop raffle, the cushion for your bed, or really it's the pillow for your bed, then each hour you sleep at night, your fatigue will be reduced by 3. So you sleep for 6 hours. In that case, you would reduce your fatigue by 18. The other things that will reduce your fatigue, let's just put it up here. Don't want that. Let's put it up to 50. The other things that will reduce your fatigue are going to the restroom. So if we go to the restroom, then our fatigue should reduce itself by 10 when I get out. And it did. Our fatigue went from 50 to 40, and if we go into the bath, let me check here. No, okay. If we go into the bath, our fatigue should be reduced by 10 as well whenever we get out. So it did. It went from 40 to 30. Now, a special thing about the bath, if you win the bath crystals from, I believe, also the Flower Shop raffle, whenever you take a bath, your fatigue will be decreased by 20 rather than 10. So yeah, it's important. And obviously, as far as your fatigue is concerned, getting the bathroom in the game is very important. If you don't want to be sick, definitely get the bathroom edition. It's really hard to get sick after you've got the bathroom edition. The other things that will reduce fatigue are going to the hot springs. That reduces your fatigue by 10. The medicine or the potions that Doga, the potion master, sells, Those will reduce your fatigue by different amounts, and then also the medicinal herb will reduce your fatigue as well. So now that we know that, there's only one other thing that's really important about fatigue. And the thing that's important about fatigue, or the one thing that's left, is the red power nut that you get from Kappa. Kappa is the water imp that lives in the pond that's behind the fisherman's tent. Whenever you throw in a large fish to that pond, then Kappa will rise from it and give you the most valuable item in the game, his red power nut. Now, this red power nut is different from all the rest of them. All of them, of course, will give you an increase in stamina of 15, but this particular red power nut will also reduce the fatigue that you incur for each action by half. So, for instance, I already have eaten this red power nut, and if I use the hoe, you can see that it only raises my fatigue by 1. But normally, if I had not eaten that red power nut, it would increase my fatigue by 2. And this is extremely important for things that only increase your fatigue by 1. For instance, planting seeds will increase your fatigue, and some other things like that. Using the standard axe will only increase your fatigue by 1. And whenever you do those actions after you've eaten that power berry, if it only increases your fatigue by 1, after the power berry it will increase your fatigue by 0, meaning that you can use all those tools and plant seeds at night without incurring a fatigue hit. So that's it. I'm going to pop up a link, a link to the video about that red power berry or power nut right now. You can check it out. It's very important you get it. I recommend you do it as soon as you start the game. It's probably the most important thing to get done out of the way as soon as possible. Just to demonstrate that you will get sick if your fatigue hits 100, I will push my fatigue to 100 here and save, go to sleep. And when I wake up, as you can see, I'm sick. And whenever you are sick, of course, you stay in bed all day long. And when you wake up the next time after your sickness, your fatigue value will be reset to 0. So that's it. I think we've covered all of fatigue. I hope I haven't left anything out. If you want the exact fatigue numbers, I have them all listed out in my guide. But anyway, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you want more Harvest Moon 64 videos, make sure to subscribe. I've got a ton more coming. And if you're interested, we do have a guide that we made for Harvest Moon 64. I'm going to pop up a link to it right now. Go check it out, maybe grab one. But other than that, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you again soon.